Hi, welcome to the Marriage Foundation. If you're here for the first time, then a very special welcome to you. This is where you learn about marriage the right way. We don't hold back. It doesn't mean that we're brutal or harsh. We're truthful. And that's actually a good thing. I used to be a divorce mediator. That's harsh. That's brutal. But when I shifted over, because a couple frankly asked me to help them with their marriage, I discovered things about marriage that blew my mind. We're not taught. Nowhere in society do you hear about marriage the way you do here at the Marriage Foundation. So subscribe to the channel so you can benefit from this. And this topic is, why does my husband make me feel like I'm not good enough? This is not unusual. You should know that. And the reason why is because I'm going to tell you why, and then I'm going to tell you what you do about it. The reason why is because people who are married, for the most part, and this is a fact, are frustrated in their marriage. Very few people, percentage-wise, are truly happy in their marriage. Even the people who say, oh, I'm happy in my marriage, they are to a degree where they think marriage is meant to be. I mean, I remember in my own family, I asked my father many, many years ago, I said, do you love mom? And he said, you get used to people. Can you imagine? He wasn't unusual. It's not critical of him. It's how people feel towards their spouses because we're not taught. So whose fault is that? Nobody's. Because the information about marriage is evolving. You know, it wasn't too long ago that people got married basically out of a business idea because they needed a wife or they needed a husband to produce children, to tend to the farm, to tend to the household. And so it was more like, yeah, he'll do, she'll do, and they got married. The romance that you see in the movies is nonsense. That's not what happened. Very rare. Maybe in the very high echelons of society where they weren't struggling just to survive. But for the most part, that's not what it was. And so things are evolving. We have a lot more freedoms. We have a lot more time and energy to devote to pursuing to things that benefit us in a positive way. And marriage is one of the greatest pursuits that we don't know how to utilize. We get married because we fall in love now. That didn't used to be the case. So now we can. We find our soulmate and we get married to them. I mean, think about it. In other cultures, they still have arranged marriages. So they weren't discovering the love of their life, but you did. And now here you are, and your husband's not making you feel good enough. Well, what about when you were dating? How did he make you feel? He made you feel like a princess, like a queen. That was what he was supposed to do. Now, he doesn't know about marriage either. So he doesn't even know that you really get married in order to be happy. That's why we get married, in order to experience unconditional love. That's why we get married. So we don't even start off with, why am I getting married? We don't even know. Those are the two primary reasons. Then we have, well, I want to be with my true love. I want to have children. Those are secondary reasons, and they all feed into the I want to be happy reason, right? Good. So we don't know how to be happy. We don't. We don't realize that happiness is a spiritual pursuit, because we're taught in society that happiness is when you get something new or pretty something up, or you meet somebody who makes you happy, or you have a good time. That's shallow happiness. That's not the real deal. The real deal is that you're a soul, not a religious conversation. You're a soul, and happiness is innate to the soul. Joy, that's innate. So is love. But we can use the pickaxe of our discrimination and wisdom to open that up in marriage. We can't do that in the rest of life because we live in a very competitive world where people are not above taking everything you have and leaving you in a ditch. So we have this great opportunity in marriage, but we don't know about it. So what do you do now that your husband's making you feel like you're not good enough? Is you step back and you ask yourself, truthfully, what am I doing to make him feel like the hero who I married? And the answer is nothing, less than nothing. And you might say, well, I cook for him, I clean the house, I do these things. That's not what I'm talking about. Well, I have sex with him. I'm not talking about that either. I'm talking about the one thing that he actually married you for is your heart. But it's hidden. It's hidden behind complaining. It's hidden behind criticizing. It's hidden behind nagging. And I don't mean criticizing him necessarily. Just in general, your demeanor in your marriage is not one of a joy-filled, lively, lovely person. Especially not a person who's just opening your heart to your husband and making him feel like $1 million. Now that's the truth, isn't it? So here's the thing. We do live in a cause and effect world. By the way, have you hit the subscribe button yet? Do it right now, because you need to get these videos. So we live in a cause and effect world, don't we? That means that, like Newton discovered, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That's not just limited to material physics, like the apple falling and hitting the ground like that. It also extends into when you smile towards someone, at someone, it will open them up a little bit, right? If you yell at them, it will close them off. Cause and effect. So you become the cause of your husband's incredible happiness, and watch what happens. It's so simple when you think about it. The problem is, it's simple, but as I learned when I studied marriage, because I recreated marriage, you should go to our website and see what we have. What you'll discover is that there's so many parts we had no idea. And it's all comes together for amazing. Amazing. And people who have taken our course, I'm not pushing the course, but people who have taken our course, there's thousands of them, report to us how incredible their marriage is now, how much it's changed their lives, meeting with other people and talking, even in business, even at work. We don't know. And it's time to start knowing, because we deserve happiness. It's a birthright. We do. And not just a little bit. Big time happiness. So I hope you like this video. I hope it's opened your eyes a little bit. And I do suggest you go through all we have to offer. Again, I'm Paul Friedman. I'm the founder of the Marriage Foundation. I am glad you came by, and I hope to see you again. God bless you. Take care. Thanks.